let's talk. Let's talk another quarterback. We're talking about a lot of quarterbacks today. So a
Hmm.
guy that did the opposite. We talked about a lot of G5 quarterbacks going to P5. How about a P5 quarterback going to G5? We're talking about Money Mitch Griffis from Wake Forest transferring to Marshall. Now, CD, as an over Wake Forest 6.5 taker on this show, you and people like myself, we're pretty confident in Mitch Griffis going into this year. When I watched him in the spring game,
Yeah,
I liked him a lot. And I like to trust my evaluations sometimes in the spring games. And I know it's not everything, but like he was making good throws. He had really good receivers around him. It felt like, well, obviously, Jimmy or Dave Clawson has done a phenomenal job there as a coach. I thought he could win some games, but he did not play particularly great. And now he moves. Marshall, they're actually playing their bowl game right now against UTSA. Cole Pennington starting that game for them. Cam Fincher had also started some games for them. I think I don't know. Well, how do you feel about this move for Money Mitch Griffis?
it's interesting. I think you mentioned the expectation that people had for filling in for Sam Hartman in an offense with Dave Clawson, and you have three pretty darn good receivers: Jamal Banks, Taylor Moore, and Keyshawn Williams, et cetera, et cetera. Two
Donovan
dynamic running
Green,
backs you like.
Donovan Green did get hurt before the season. He was going to be another receiver for him, but
Yep.
again, Williams was a great receiver in his own right too.
Yeah, so it's tough. I mean, he got benched. Mariucci came in. Michael Kern came in. It was tough there down the stretch. I thought he played well in some games. The Duke game comes to mind. I thought he played pretty well against a darn good defense on the road there in a losing effort.
Although
But it's also,
he did blow it though at the end. He totally blew it at the end,
yeah,
which is I guess fair, but I think you're right though. It was a good defense, and I thought he played pretty decent in that game.
yeah. So we'll see. It's tough for Mitch Griffis. I think a good start, a fresh start for both these sides is a really good thing. I think Marshall, he can get developed there. He can play maybe a little lower competition, although the Sun Belt's pretty darn good and has some quality defensive minds in it itself. But yeah, I think this is nice for Mitch Griffis and Marshall, obviously. I think Marshall, you love when you get a Power Five quarterback with pretty good experience and coaching, and it comes down to your program, and he can really thrive, like you saw JT Daniels do this year, like you've seen other quarterbacks do as well.
Yeah, and maybe in their minds, right? Maybe even Charles Huff's mind, like Cole Pennington isn't ready, right? He's just a freshman, right? And in his time, Cole Pennington, I believe, 400 yards, 6 interceptions before this bowl game happened. I believe he still has not thrown a touchdown, yeah, in this game. So he's still, as we're recording this, he has thrown 6 interceptions to 0 touchdowns. It just feels like he might not be ready, right? And I think they know that Mitch Griffis is ready to play at that level at least, and they can let Pennington sit at least another year. But it's hard though. It's hard. Now the thing about Pennington being in the G5 conference, his looks in the transfer portal, and given what he's shown on tape, I don't think there's going to be a lot of interest there. I think it's going to benefit him to sit behind Marshall, right? And if you have a guy at a Power Five school, maybe highly rated, and he's sitting behind a guy like Malachi Nelson, all of a sudden entering the transfer portal, Austin Novosad, maybe. I don't know. That's kind of
Ty
just
Thompson,
pure, it's pure speculation. Uh, yeah, Ty Thompson, some highly rated guys. It those guys have the luxury of being able to transfer, and a lot of schools wanting them. I don't know if Pennington necessarily has that luxury. So he might have to sit behind Mitch Griffis to give himself an opportunity down the road. But I think you're right. A fresh start for Mitch Griffis. And who knows? Who knows? He might be
he,
back at the P5 levels one day.
he's got 2 more years, so he's got one more year next year to really turn it up, and then one more go at it, his 6th year, and yeah,
Yeah, and Rasheen Ali still has eligibility, right?
yeah.
I thought he was a junior. He was weird because he had the medical stuff that went on.
Let me check that right now. I'm on his page.
Yeah, but I guess I'll just kind of keep rambling. I liked Mitch Griffis. I thought he had a pretty decent release when I watched him play. He's not like a gigantic human being from what I recall when I watch him. I don't have his height and weight in front of me, but I don't know. I when I watched him in the spring game, I thought he was accurate. When I watched him in the Duke game, I thought he was pretty accurate. There just were some times when he just made some boneheaded plays and he just didn't make the throws and he's not very mobile. And Wake Forest doesn't have a great offensive line. They don't have a great run game. It's very quarterback dependent. And Sam Hartman's a guy that can really stretch the ball down the field, and I don't think Mitch Griffis is that guy. So I think the new offense will benefit him a lot.
And Rasheen Ali does have one more year.
So I'm
So good for Mitch
saying,
Griffis.
so I'm saying, come on. So good luck. Good luck to Money Mitch Griffis. I'm rooting for you, man. I still believe in you, man. I still believe in you.